You've probably heard of Guatemala, but I bet you don't really know it. Most people only know the name, but not the magic behind it. This country is way more fascinating than you think, full of volcanoes, culture, and wild traditions. In this video, we're counting down 20 awesome facts that will blow your mind. Trust me, by the end, you'll want to book a flight. Fact 1. Guatemala is the most populous country in Central America, with over 17 million people. Guatemala has the largest population in the Central American region. As of 2024, more than 17 million people live there. This makes it more populated than Honduras, El Salvador, or Nicaragua. Most people live in the southern and central parts of the country. Guatemala City, the capital, is home to over 3 million residents in its metro area. The population is young. Almost half of the people are under 20 years old. This creates a fast-growing, dynamic society. Urban areas are growing quickly, especially around the capital. However, many people still live in rural villages and highland communities. Guatemala is big, diverse, and full of energy, just like its people. Fact 19. Guatemala is the most diverse country in Central America, with over 20 different indigenous groups and languages. Guatemala is one of the most culturally diverse countries in the Americas. There are over 21 officially recognized indigenous ethnic groups. Most of them are descendants of the ancient Maya civilization. Groups like the Quiche, Quechua, and Mam are among the largest. Each group has its own language, traditions, and unique clothing. Many indigenous communities still live in traditional ways. They maintain their own belief systems, farming techniques, and rituals. Guatemala officially recognizes 25 indigenous languages. 22 of these are of Mayan origin. This linguistic variety makes Guatemala unique in Central America. Walking through villages feels like stepping into different cultural worlds. This deep-rooted diversity is one of the country's greatest treasures. Fact 18. Guatemala has a rich Mayan heritage, with 22 Mayan languages officially recognized and still spoken today. Guatemala is considered the heartland of the ancient Maya civilization. The Maya lived here for thousands of years before the Spanish arrived. Their influence is still visible in architecture, customs, and everyday life. Today, 22 Mayan languages are officially recognized in Guatemala. These languages are not just preserved, they are actively spoken in schools, homes, and local governments. Languages like Quiche, Quanjobal, and Chichicastenango are among the most widely spoken. Each language represents a distinct cultural identity and worldview. In rural areas, many people grow up speaking a Mayan language as their mother tongue. Some communities have never stopped practicing ancient rituals and traditions. The Maya calendar, spiritual beliefs, and weaving patterns are still part of daily life. Guatemala's Maya heritage is not just history, it's alive and thriving. This living legacy makes the country one of the most unique places on Earth. Fact 17. The currency of Guatemala is the quetzal, named after the national bird. Guatemala's official currency is called the quetzal. It is named after the resplendent quetzal, the country's national bird. This bird was sacred to the ancient Maya and symbolizes freedom. In Maya culture, quetzal feathers were more valuable than gold. Today, the bird appears proudly on the Guatemalan flag and coat of arms. The currency code is GTQ and it's divided into 100 centavos. One quetzal is worth a bit more than 12 US cents, depending on exchange rates. Paper bills feature portraits of national heroes and historic buildings. Coins come in various sizes and are widely used in daily transactions. You'll see the quetzal used in markets, street stalls, and modern shops alike. Its name and design reflect the country's deep connection to its history and nature. Holding a Guatemalan quetzal is like holding a piece of living heritage. Fact 16. Guatemala City is the largest urban area in Central America, with a metro population exceeding 3 million. Guatemala City is the capital and largest city in the country. It's also the most populated urban area in all of Central America. The city proper has about 1.3 million people. But the greater metropolitan area includes more than 3 million residents. It is the political, economic, and cultural hub of Guatemala. Skyscrapers, shopping malls, and universities dominate the city center. Yet, just outside the core, you'll find busy markets and colonial neighborhoods. The city is divided into numbered zones, making navigation a bit easier. Zone 1 houses the historic center, while Zone 10 is known for nightlife and business. Despite traffic and urban challenges, the city is alive with energy and ambition. It also holds museums, art galleries, and important government buildings. Guatemala City is a place of contrasts, and it never stops growing. Fact 15. Tikal is an ancient Mayan city in northern Guatemala and one of the largest and most impressive Mayan archaeological sites in the world. Tikal is located deep in the jungles of northern Guatemala in the Petén region. It was once one of the most powerful cities of the ancient Maya civilization. Tikal dates back as far as the 4th century BC. At its peak, it was home to tens of thousands of people. The city features massive stone temples, plazas, palaces, and ceremonial platforms. Temple Fofor is the tallest pyramid in the complex, rising over 200 feet. Tikal is surrounded by thick rainforest, adding to its mystical atmosphere. The ruins are home to toucans, howler monkeys, and even jaguars. In 1979, UNESCO declared Tikal a World Heritage Site. It's considered one of the most important archaeological sites in the Americas. You can climb some of the pyramids and look out over the treetops. Visiting Tikal feels like stepping back into a forgotten world. Fact 14. The Guatemalan flag features 2 blue stripes, representing the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, and a white stripe symbolizing peace. Guatemala's national flag is full of powerful symbolism. It consists of 3 vertical stripes, 2 blue ones and a white one in the middle. The blue stripes represent the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. These 2 bodies of water border Guatemala on the east and west. The white stripe stands for peace, purity, and integrity. At the center of the flag is the national coat of arms. It features a resplendent quetzal bird, a symbol of liberty. There's also a parchment scroll with the date of Central America's independence. 2 crossed rifles and swords represent Guatemala's willingness to defend itself. The laurel wreath surrounding them symbolizes victory. This flag was officially adopted in 1871. It proudly reflects the country's values, history, and geography. Fact 13. The national flower of Guatemala is the Monja Blanca, white nun orchid. Guatemala's national flower is called the Monja Blanca, or white nun orchid. Its scientific name is Chichicastenango var. Alba. The flower is known for its delicate, pure white petals and graceful shape. It was officially declared the national flower in 1934. The name white nun comes from its resemblance to a nun's veil. This orchid grows naturally in Guatemala's cloud forests and highland regions. It is a rare and protected species, symbolizing beauty and peace. For many Guatemalans, it also represents hope and national pride. The flower blooms during the country's dry season, from January to March. Due to deforestation and climate change, it has become harder to find in the wild. However, conservation efforts are helping preserve this iconic bloom. The Monja Blanca is more than a flower. It's a living symbol of Guatemala's natural heritage. Fact 12. Antigua, Guatemala is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, formerly the capital of Guatemala, known for its well-preserved Spanish colonial architecture. Antigua, Guatemala was once the proud capital of the country. It held this status until a massive earthquake struck in 1773. After that, the capital was moved to present-day Guatemala City. Despite the damage, Antigua was rebuilt and preserved with great care. Today, it is famous for its colorful colonial buildings and cobblestone streets. The city is surrounded by 3 volcanoes, creating a dramatic skyline. In 1979, UNESCO declared Antigua a World Heritage Site. Church ruins, restored mansions, and vibrant plazas fill the town. Many of its buildings date back to the 16th and 17th centuries. It's a favorite destination for tourists, artists, and language students. During Holy Week, the city comes alive with world-renowned processions. Antigua is a living museum that tells the story of Guatemala's colonial past. Fact 11. Lake Atitlán, located in the Guatemalan Highlands, is considered one of the most beautiful lakes in the world and is surrounded by 3 volcanoes. Lake Atitlán is tucked away in the Guatemalan Highlands. It was formed in a massive volcanic crater thousands of years ago. The lake is surrounded by 3 majestic volcanoes, Atitlán, Tolomon, and San Pedro. Their reflections shimmer in the clear blue water. Many people call it the most beautiful lake in the world. Writer Aldous Huxley once compared it to Italy's Lake Como, but said Atitlán is even better. 12 small villages sit along its shores, each with its own unique charm. Some towns, like San Marcos and San Pedro, are known for yoga, spirituality, or nightlife. Others, like Santiago Atitlán, preserve ancient Maya traditions. Boats are the main form of transportation between villages. Sunrises and sunsets over the lake are absolutely breathtaking. Lake Atitlán is a peaceful escape and a national treasure. Fact 10. Guatemala is the largest coffee producer in Central America, known for high-quality Arabica beans. Guatemala is world-famous for its exceptional coffee. It produces mostly Arabica beans, which are prized for their smooth, rich flavor. The country's climate and high-altitude volcanic soil create perfect growing conditions. Regions like Antigua, Huehuetenango, and Coban are especially well known for specialty coffee. Each region produces beans with distinct flavor profiles, some fruity, others chocolatey or floral. Guatemalan coffee often scores high in international taste competitions. The coffee industry supports hundreds of thousands of small farmers and workers. Most beans are grown on small family-run farms using traditional methods. The harvest season runs from December to April, depending on elevation. Much of the coffee is hand-picked and sun-dried, preserving its quality. Coffee is a major export product and a vital part of the economy. If you're a coffee lover, Guatemala is a paradise in a cup. Fact 9. The Guatemalan Highlands are home to many indigenous communities who maintain traditional customs and dress. The Guatemalan Highlands are a mountainous region rich in culture and history. Many indigenous groups live in these areas, especially Mayan descendants. Towns like Chichicastenango, Nabaj, and Totonicapán are cultural strongholds. People here speak local Mayan languages, often alongside Spanish. Traditional clothing called traje típico is still worn proudly every day. Each village has its own colors, patterns, and weaving styles. Women's blouses, or huipiles, are hand-woven and filled with symbolic designs. Men also wear traditional garments during festivals and ceremonies. Ancient rituals, music, and dances are still part of community life. Markets overflow with handmade crafts, textiles, and local foods. Despite modern influences, these communities resist cultural erosion. The Highlands are living proof that ancient traditions can thrive in the present. Fact 8. Chiles Rellenos is a traditional Guatemalan dish, made by stuffing chili peppers with meat, cheese, and vegetables, then frying them in egg batter. Chiles Rellenos is one of Guatemala's most beloved traditional dishes. It starts with large, mild chili peppers, usually poblanos or bell peppers. The peppers are carefully roasted and peeled to soften their skins. Then they're stuffed with a savory mix of ground meat, carrots, potatoes, and spices. Some versions include cheese or even raisins for a sweet, salty twist. Once stuffed, the peppers are dipped in whipped egg batter. They are lightly fried until golden and crisp on the outside. The dish is often served with tomato sauce and white rice. It's a common meal for special occasions and family gatherings. Every region and household has its own recipe and variation. Chiles Rellenos reflect Guatemala's fusion of indigenous and Spanish influences. They're a true comfort food, rich, hearty, and full of flavor. Fact 7. Guatemala is the only country in Central America with a coastline on both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. Guatemala has a unique geographic advantage in Central America. It is the only country in the region with access to both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. On the Pacific side, towns like Monterrico and Puerto San Jose offer black sand beaches and strong surf. The Pacific coast is known for fishing, surfing, and sea turtle conservation. On the opposite side, the Caribbean coast has a completely different vibe. The town of Livingston blends Garifuna, Afro-Caribbean, and indigenous cultures. Palm trees, reggae music, and coconut dishes dominate the atmosphere. This region is also the gateway to the Rio Dulce, a lush river leading inland. Having two coastlines gives Guatemala access to diverse marine ecosystems. It also allows for trade and tourism from two different oceanic routes. Very few countries in the world share this advantage. Guatemala's dual coastline geography makes it truly special. Fact 6. The oldest known evidence of chocolate consumption comes from the ancient Mayans who inhabited present-day Guatemala. Chocolate has deep roots in Guatemalan soil. The ancient Maya were among the first people to cultivate cacao. Archaeological evidence shows they consumed chocolate as early as 1900 BC. They prepared it as a bitter, frothy drink, not the sweet version we know today. Cacao was mixed with chili, water, and sometimes honey. It was used in religious ceremonies, royal banquets, and sacred offerings. Cacao beans were so valuable they were even used as currency. The Maya believed chocolate had spiritual and healing powers. Remnants of cacao were found in ancient pottery from Guatemalan sites. These discoveries are the oldest physical evidence of chocolate consumption in the world. Today, artisanal chocolate making is reviving across Guatemala. In a way, enjoying chocolate here is like tasting ancient history. Fact 5. The city of Chichicastenango is famous for its traditional market, selling colorful textiles, pottery, and handmade crafts. Chichicastenango, often called Chichi by locals, is a cultural gem in the Guatemalan Highlands. It hosts one of the most vibrant and famous markets in all of Latin America. Every Thursday and Sunday, the town transforms into a sea of colors and sounds. Vendors travel from remote villages to sell their handmade goods. You'll find intricate Mayan textiles, wooden masks, pottery, jewelry, and ceremonial incense. Each woven cloth tells a story passed down through generations. The market is not just for tourists, it's a vital part of local life. Many people come to barter, socialize, and stock up on food and supplies. The Santo Tomas Church, beside the market, is also a sacred site blending Catholic and Mayan beliefs. Traditional rituals are still performed on its steps with candles and offerings. It's a place where ancient traditions meet daily commerce. Chichicastenango's market is more than shopping. It's cultural immersion at its best. Fact 4. Guatemala's Pacific coast is a popular destination for surfing and beach activities. Guatemala's Pacific coastline stretches for over 100 miles. It's known for its dramatic waves, volcanic black sand beaches, and laid-back vibe. Towns like El Paredon and Sipacat are hotspots for surfing. Waves here are strong and consistent, attracting surfers from around the world. Surf schools and eco-lodges have popped up along the shore in recent years. These beaches are much quieter than those in Costa Rica or Mexico. That means more space, fewer crowds, and lots of raw nature. The sunsets over the Pacific are absolutely stunning. Sea turtles often come ashore to lay their eggs, especially in Monte Rico. You can also enjoy boating, fishing, or just relaxing under a palm tree. The coast is a hidden gem for adventure seekers and nature lovers. It's one of Guatemala's most underrated treasures. Fact 3. IRTRA Xetulul in Retalhuleu is one of the most important theme parks in Central America. IRTRA Xetulul is a massive amusement park located in Retalhuleu in southwestern Guatemala. It was built by the Guatemalan Tourism Institute to offer affordable fun for local families. The park features roller coasters, water rides, and family-friendly attractions. One of its main highlights is the Avalancha, the largest steel roller coaster in Central America. Xetulul is designed with international flair, including replicas of famous landmarks. You can walk through mini versions of Paris, Rome, and even Mayan temples. It blends entertainment with education and cultural pride. The park is part of a larger resort complex that includes IRTRA Xocomil, a world-class water park. Both parks attract hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. Xetulul is clean, well-managed, and a point of national pride. It's one of the best examples of Guatemalan public-private collaboration. For families and thrill seekers alike, it's the perfect weekend escape. Fact 2. The traditional Mayan Day of the Dead ceremony is celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, with colorful decorations, food, and offerings to honor ancestors. In Guatemala, the Day of the Dead is deeply rooted in Mayan traditions. It's celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, aligning with All Saints and All Souls Days. Families gather to honor and remember deceased loved ones. They clean and decorate graves with flowers, candles, and pine needles. Traditional foods like fiambre, a cold meat and vegetable salad, are prepared in large quantities. Offerings of food, drinks, and photos are placed on altars to welcome ancestral spirits. In Santiago, Zacatepeques, and Zumpango, the sky fills with giant handmade kites. These colorful kites, called barraletes gigantes, are believed to carry messages to the spirits. They can reach up to 40 feet wide and take months to construct. The day is a joyful celebration filled with music, family, and storytelling. It's both sacred and festive, a perfect blend of life and memory. Guatemala's version of Day of the Dead is one of the most vibrant in the world. Fact 1. These are 20 incredible facts about Guatemala. Guatemala is more than just a country. It's a living mosaic of history, nature, and culture. From ancient ruins and volcanoes to coffee farms and colorful markets, it offers endless discoveries. Its landscapes are diverse, ranging from highland villages to tropical coasts. The people are proud, warm, and deeply connected to their heritage. Indigenous traditions are not relics, they're part of everyday life. You can hear 22 Mayan languages spoken, sometimes in the same town. You'll taste flavors rooted in ancient recipes and see textiles woven with centuries of symbolism. Guatemala's natural wonders are matched by its cultural richness. Whether you're climbing pyramids in Tikal or sipping coffee by Lake Atitlán, the experience is unforgettable. It's a place where the past and present coexist beautifully. These 20 facts only scratch the surface of what Guatemala truly is. To understand it fully, you have to feel it, and that starts by being curious. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the incredible country of Guatemala. If you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you love travel, culture, and mind-blowing facts, make sure to subscribe for more adventures every week. Let me know in the comments which fact surprised you the most, or if you've ever been to Guatemala yourself. I read every comment, and I love hearing your stories. You can also share this video with a friend who's dreaming about exploring Central America. There's so much more coming soon, so stay tuned. Until next time, this is Andy Explores the World signing off.